Hello everyone, so let's get started. So we're going to build from scratch the browse orders demo application. So before we even get started, let's run this application in our local environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this application. So I'm going to click on download from the SAP UI5 Demokit and then look at browse orders, click download. And this should download a zip file. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this zip file. So let me copy it to my local channel, local folder. And I'm going to extract it to browse orders. Okay, so we have it extracted, and you can see that there is a file called ui5.yaml. So let me open this in Visual Studio Code. And if you notice, you have this file called ui5.yaml. So I do want to talk a little bit about this new UI5 tooling. In the past session or so, when I've used Visual Studio Code, I kind of used the live server that came with Visual Studio. But I want to talk about this new UI5 tooling that we have. I have a few slides for that, so let me open up those slides and I will talk about this UI5 tooling. So SAP IDE, the web IDE out of the box, I mean, it is a pretty good tool. I've always liked it. It has a lot of templating stuff and everything, but it kind of is restrictive in the sense it allows you to build, it allows you to deploy the application to the SAP Cloud Platform. But if you wanted to do additional stuff, you are a little bit restricted. Now with this new UI5 tooling, SAP has kind of closed the gap between local UI5 development and also development in Web IDE. So a little bit of the background. So we all know that change is always constant in the software industry. So this is what we used to have for tooling in SAP UI5. So when we first open sourced Open UI5, I think back in 2013, we started using Grunt as our task runner. So at that time, Grunt was the most popular task runner. Obviously we went with Grunt as the task runner. But now it is not so much. In fact, I think it's deprecated. So there are other tools like Gulp and Webpack and so on for task running jobs. So we wanted to do the tooling. We use the tooling to do a variety of tasks, but most importantly, what we want to do is we want to build. So we want to bundle all the resources, we want to get all the JavaScript files, we want to minify them, and so we use Grunt. But now that Grunt is being deprecated, so we decided to tackle this issue with some kind of long-term stability. So we created our own tool, the UI5 tooling, that is agnostic of any task runner. So this tooling is based on JavaScript. So the idea is that it shouldn't go away anytime soon. So it should be good for now and also for some time in the future as well. So we have the tooling in place. The UI5 resources, previously it used to be downloaded from Bower. It was a repository for packages, but Bower again doesn't have much of a future. Everyone uses NPM. So that's what we have. We can now use NPM for our source repository as well. And this is all based on Node.js based tooling. It's also open sourced. So that's what we're going to use in this session. So back to the Visual Studio Code. So we have this UI5 tooling, and if I look at my package.json, I have this start. I have multiple scripts already defined here. And I've also downloaded and installed the UI5 tooling. So I'll put a link for it in the description of this video. So go ahead and you can use npm to install the UI5 command line interface. Okay, and we have the application code here. So let's see if this runs. But before we even make sure it runs, we need to make sure that we change a few things. In a sense, we want to make sure that the UI5 is pointing to the right resource. So I'm going to put the proper URL for the code.js. Okay, so I have the core.js pointing to the right thing, and then I'm going to use the mock data for now. And then what we'll do is we'll also go ahead and see if we can run it with the proper URL. So I'm going to change it to use the mock server for now. So this is the code that we just downloaded. We just want to make sure everything is running. So I've changed the mock URL. And let's see if anything else needs to be changed. Okay, let's try and run it. Let's see what happens. So if I go into View and Terminal, and if I look in my package.json, it has this nice little start, and we can simply run npm start. But before we do npm start, we also need to do npm install. So it installs all of these dependencies. So we have a few dev dependencies here. We have some dependencies here as well. So let's go ahead and install all of those dependencies. So in the meantime, what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to see how we can run it using actual OData service. So we'll use the OData Northwind. So at least let me get the URL for that. So we have, let's try to go with the version 2 of it. So that's what we are supporting. So I'll put that in my notepad. So later on we can use that for our data source. So right now I think it's going to be using it's going to be using mock data. And one other thing we do want to talk about is when we are going to be using the actual OData service, and we are going to be using Visual Studio Code like what we are planning to do here, then we will run into this issue of course. Now, when we were using SAP Web IDE, SAP Web IDE took care of everything. So we were able to navigate around the course issue. But here we will run into this course issue. So for that, we have to have a few dependencies. We have to have some way to get around this course issue. So we are going to install a package called Course Anywhere, and we are going to use a proxy to get our requests to us. So as it is going to be downloading this npm, doing the npm install, let me go ahead and create this file for the proxy. So we need a file called proxy.js. I mean, this file can be called anything, but I'm calling it proxy.js, and I'm going to cut and paste some code for proxy.js. So basically, this is a web server running, and this is going to proxy our request through this. But right now we are going to be using the mock data, so it shouldn't we shouldn't run into this issue. Okay, at this time the npm install has completed installing all the dependencies, but I also need a few more additional dependencies. But in the meantime, let me make sure that it is running. So I will call npm start to make sure that I can run it locally on my machine. And then it should start on localhost 8080. So let me see if I can go to http localhost 8080 index.html. Okay, so the application is running. So all we did was we went ahead and we changed the index.html to point to the proper UI5 resource, and we also changed index.html to use the mock server. and now we are able to run the application locally. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure that the application can be run from an OData service. So for that, what I'm going to do is I already created this proxy.js as the npm was installing its dependencies. I also need a few additional dependencies, so I'm going to go ahead and install those additional dependencies as well. So this proxy.js, as you see, it requires this module course anywhere, so I will install course-anywhere. And I also want to install this concurrently, and I want to install them as dev dependencies. So I will put -d install. Uh, I'll, so I'll install them as dev dependencies, and I'll get back to you once the install is complete. Okay, now the install is complete. So let's go ahead and make use of those modules that we installed. So we have the concurrently and course anywhere installed as dev dependencies. And I want to add a few other run scripts as well. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can start my proxy server. So this is going to start my proxy server. Node proxy.js is going to start my proxy server. So we need this so we can avoid the course anywhere situation. And here, instead of running both proxy, I can run them together. So concurrently allows us to do it. So I do run npm run start, which runs my UI5 serve, and then I run npm run proxy as well. So I can do both of them together. Okay, so there's a few other changes we need to make. If I go into my manifest.json, right now I have my local URL. Now I can put my I can put the URL for the index.json for the Northwind OData service, but I need to proxy it through the proxy server, and this proxy server is going to be running on port 8081. So that's what I need to be doing here. I need to be proxying it through the 8081 request. So what we have done is we've taken the URL for the Northwind OData service, and we've added localhost 8081 to it. And this should do the trick of doing the proxy. And I have the proxy.json, and I believe we have everything. So we've changed the OData service to go to this OData service here. Oh, and then index.html, we need to go back. We don't want to use the mock data again. We just want to go straight to the component.js. So we have everything in place. So let us get started again. And this time, what I'm going to do is I have this new script, npm run dev. I can run npm run dev, and then I should be able to start my proxy server. So my proxy server has started, and my UI5 server has also started on port 8080. So everything looks good. So let's go ahead and see if this runs fine. Okay, so there is some issue. Okay, batch. Okay, so right now this doesn't allow us to do any post requests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the manifest.json file to not use any batch requests. So right now we are doing a batch request, and we don't want to do a batch request. So settings, and I will say use batch as false. Okay, because this doesn't allow us, this publicly available OData service doesn't support post methods. So, and the batch is always a post method. So we're going to change it to not use batch. So let me go ahead and stop this service and start it again. And hopefully this time everything should work fine. Cool. And everything is working fine. So we now have downloaded the browse orders and we now have everything working from an OData service. So in the next session, we'll look at the documentation and then we'll start building from scratch this whole application. That's it for now, folks. Thank you.